I know you're talking about. And yeah, we'll have to see. It really does feel like that. FURIA.
It was DJ. DJ
yeah,
was
DJ.
playing it. Fnatic did it. Yeah.
And as you said, FURIA with a pretty damn greedy lineup. They got to get to it. If you get those levels, it could feel good. But on the other side, you have the almost exact opposite, right? You have these 4 pretty damn strong early game heroes and then a TB. So they're playing, and this is Qatar, right? It's a Qataro team. He will carry the game, and I'm sure his teammates trust him. He's done it time and time again.
Yeah, he's done it on some of the biggest stages as well. Particularly effective in best of ones. All of these guys are.
And this will be quite the laning phase. What are you looking at?
Just a perfect hero for Frank to be playing.
The tank.
Frank the tank playing the Centaur, just going to be rolling up. Is he looking to get some early charges? He is. He's going to get some early retaliate charges.
Ooh, got to be careful, though.
Maybe he's just looking for a ward. There is no ward here. You should know that now.
You just cold snap him? Or?
Yeah, you just cold snap him, do some extra damage. Or
Scare
maybe
him out.
don't give him the retaliate charges.
That's true. That's probably the better play, right? Because cold snap level 1's pretty bad. Doesn't do too much.
No, and neither does Invoker's right click. Says he hits only 52 damage. Bob, okay, Matthew, careful going into that high ground, friend.
Yeah, he just runs into him. And obviously we talked about a Phoenix. The long cooldowns are the weakness, not the actual abilities. They are very strong. And they will just back up and possibly a tri-lane top from the Radiant, maybe just securing the rune. It looks like the Oracle will be possibly heading down bottom, MJZ, AK Wu. And it seems he is. He's picking up the rune, and he will just be walking on down bottom. 2-for-2 rune exchange. It is a double stun lane up top, but is Centaur Lion a strong lane? Because the thing about Lion is, it always... Level 1's like your weakness, right, as a Lion?
Yeah, your real impact comes from being able to constantly spam out impales thanks to Siphon, Mana Drain rather.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you're not the strongest at level 1. At least you do have a setup disable though for the Centaur. And I think that this lane is like weak enough that Centaur should just be able to run it. Right? It's like Spectre doesn't have that much lane impact, and then you've got a Phoenix who has no armor and is playing against a Lion who should be able to out-harass him, especially when there's no Fire Spirits up. Yeah. So in a way, it's like the weakness of this hero, of these supports on both sides is evened out, and then it's just about Centaur versus Spectre.
Yeah. We'll see who can farm. Obviously, Centaur with 15 more base damage should make it a little bit easier. And in that middle lane, that's the one. MJZ does get his courier killed, actually bottomed by the Death Prophet, swinging around. And he's just going to sit there and block the pole camp. Don't got a ward to do it? Do it yourself.
Another weird situation where, in a way, Death Prophet just needs to be a body to protect against pulling. Because what Terrorblade wants to do very often is that he's going to use his Metamorphosis on the first wave and just try and... Some Terrorblades will push the lane in which case I think they're hoping to be able to do that, push the lane in, and then get a pull off of it, so they can get the extra experience and deny a wave.
You can definitely tell Qataro has watched the Jenkins videos we've been seeing. He is using that creep aggro perfectly in the bottom lane. So we heard Blitz say, so TB is a good matchup against Spectre. Do you get 6 items, you just pop Metamorphosis, and you just right-click, right?
Yeah, there's also little things like if you go the Radiance build on Spectre, then obviously that can be a detriment with the Terrorblade, thanks to Reflection. The timing of the Terrorblade can be really on point because the Spectre has a very noticeable weak point in that like 20 to 30 minutes where she's not really that full carry. And then on top of that, she's not very good at burst damage, right? And that's what Terrorblade most fears, is being bursted down, disabled, and bursted before he can get off Sunder.
Watching as middle lane Murdoch pulled the creeps all the way past, and so far, pretty tame game, even with all these stuns. Shadow Demon getting level 3.5, hasn't even used his 3rd point yet. And bottom, they will continue to trade farm, but the TB... pretty happy down here, 10-4, going up against the Mars, 9-1.
Yeah, I think this bottom lane is the one lane that FURIA can really potentially go even on, just because it's kind of a farming war between Mars and Terrorblade. Yeah. But otherwise, I think Centaur beats the top lane against Spectre. Like, he's going to walk away with more farm, even if they don't find a kill. And then the mid lane matchup, I'm expecting Shadow Demon to win initially just because the Clausewix Invoker's damage is kind of bad.
Pretty bad. And you see a Shadow Demon going the same build, 2-0-2. Disruption and Poison. And this is when you got to start being careful. You get hit with 4 to 5 stacks of Poison, you really don't see how strong it is. And oh, look at that. He glyphs the creep so he doesn't tank the tower. Nice play by Leo Style. Yeah. That was quick thinking. He does get the 5 stacks. We'll see when it pops here. Oof.
So 5 stacks do 560 damage of Shadow
before
Poison
reductions.
At level 2 before reductions.
So we're looking at about 475 to 500 damage. Decent amount. And oh, okay, there's going to be a Hex coming up top. Matthew will hit the stun on the Phoenix as well. Frank going to toss the stun
nice
and
timing.
the flight. Yeah, well done by the tank himself. They get that first blood, and you see he's on top of last hits and denies, and now he has that first kill. You were right. This Centaur is having a great start.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how he uses that start because a lot of these offlaners don't necessarily want to rush Blink Dagger anymore. A lot of people are just going for these early teamfight items like Pipe and Crimson Guard.
What do you want to see?
I think they could use the extra initiation, honestly.
Looks like he was going for the phase boots and the hood. Obviously, you can switch it up. Do you mind if he gets the blink after the hood or the Vanguard, or would you rather see it just earlier?
I think I'd like to see hood blink.
Matthew,
I kind of want them to get really aggressive on every metamorphosis.
And a good kill there. Duster just runs him down. Bottom lane as well. The Oracle as well as that Terrorblade just right-click down the DP, and Terrorblade just pops the salve, and he's back to full HP farming.
I didn't see exactly what happened, but I would assume he wasn't able to use Spear to protect the Death Prophet, maybe because in part of the illusions.
Yeah, I believe so.
It's always a problem playing against illusion heroes for Mars, for just that.
When we see Heiko as well as MJZ just squaring up on each other, over comes Murdoch. Will he get there in time? The Tornado, he doesn't have the mana. He has 8 stick charges, but it's also on cooldown, so kind of just runs over.
Oh, they do have really good combinations with Cold Snap, right? The constant damage of Fire Spirits as well as Spirit Siphon. It's not a killer combo by any means, but it's a nice quality of life that they might have.
And top 3 CS right now, all on the Radiant side. And we've seen this Shadow Demon. It can do work. Level 6 and just pops the Arcane Rune from his bottle. You got to be a little nervous about this, right? Your poison cost nothing. The cooldown is nothing. If he gets the purge off, you might just die.
Yeah. He's at level 3, so 5 stacks. That's 800 damage before reductions.
Oh, my goodness. It is a lot.
And now that he's got the purge, that's like the final killing blow that you need. It's that extra disable and burst damage to be able to pop somebody from pretty much 100 to nothing.
Yep. Uh-oh. MJZ will just purge off the slow. Try to run away. Sexy Fat and Heiko are going to be chasing. Oh, the spear pushes them away but doesn't connect to the wall. Hurts top lane. There's going to be a stomp. Will they be able to bring down the Spectre? It doesn't look like it. They just want to fight, but it is Leo Style. He does have the purge. Oh, he's going to get him. One more stack. Is it enough? It is. 800 damage as you saw over. And yeah, this Shadow Demon, you can be active, especially if you get that early bottle and boots with that Invis rune. Man, this hero, it's scary. You don't really think about the burst damage because it is burst damage, but you have to build it up, right? But it does all happen at once.
Especially with Purge, if you don't have a hero that has some sort of blink or something, you are just going to cop all of those shadow poisons. You're too slow to be able to dodge it. And I like rotations like that. They want to be able to put the pressure on this Spectre. Sadly, they can't like immediately turn that into a tower or something, but you do another rotation like that, maybe around the 10-minute bounty rune, like try and put pressure on that lane to help secure the bounties. Maybe you can get the tower, because Centaur is great at being able to take early towers once he's won a lane.
We'll see if they want to do that 10-minute rune. It's about 2.5 minutes away, and I have a feeling, I mean, with the draft like FURIA's, you have to take fights with your line. The problem is, well, you're not going to have that level 6 on Phoenix or even Death Prophet by then, it seems.
Yeah, all their team fight is predicated on them being able to get their level 6s, right? Death Prophet and Phoenix are both not really heroes without Exorcism and Supernova. And as you said, they do have to take fights. They cannot play ultra passive because this lineup, if you just let a Terrorblade Shadow Demon lineup push up onto your towers, you're just going to lose. You're going to bleed out way too many objectives. You're going to lose too much map control, and you're going to find yourself in a place where maybe only the Spectre is getting farm and nobody else is. And you can't really rely on that. This is not a game, I think, that Spectre can single-handedly carry. There's too many anti-carry mechanisms here, right? You've got Sunder, which can just swap your HP into nothing. You've got Shadow Demon with his Soul Catcher, just instantly lowers your HP. You've got really nice single-target burst damage from the Lion as well. These are all mechanisms, which means like a 1v5 is not possible.
Yeah.
Right. So they need farm on the Invoker and Mars. They need them to actually scale into the game.
And as we saw, the Shadow Demon with the Regen rune, he has gotten the last 4 runes, done a great job of just completely controlling this. There will be a Tornado EMP Cold Snap coming out. The problem is he does have the Regen, so you get the harass, but you force him to pop it. Matthew going to show up middle, and there's going to be a TP bottom by the Shadow Demon with that Regen rune. Did he go in range? Not sure. Gets the put under either way. Do we have a spear? Nope. Purge. Second stack of poison. Do we have a third? No, there's the illusion you talked about. It tanks it up. Here comes the 4th stack. Possibly no.
Oh,
he misses it Leo
no.
style. He is Centaur ulted, so he should be able to make it out. Heiko puts a second Spirit Siphon on him. Will it be enough? MJZ's trying to help. The Spectre's coming down as well. Leo still, he's in a lot of trouble. Will he make it? He saves himself for now, but he's going to come back into a world of hurt. Sexy Fat gets the kill. Sexy Fat in trouble. Just kidding. It's actually going to be MJZ. This is a big 4-man rotation, and it works. Huge play there from FURIA.
Little peculiar to make that play without your Terrorblade there. Like just a single support and then a core rotating into that, especially one as squishy as Shadow Demon. I feel like you were taking too big of a risk to make that move. I think it would have just been better for them to try and trade out and just let him go to the top lane, kill whoever's there with the Centaur. They take that tower, and then Terrorblade's just farming up jungle, no problem. Once they take that tower away, then Qatar Hayama can play into the enemy jungle from there. And if they get any sort of successful team fight, they can just move that Terrorblade from that dire jungle and swoop him into the mid tower, take that, and then you're getting that map control we're wanting to see. Still, though, they are just getting superior farm on their cores, not by a massive amount,
but a decent amount.
Yeah.
And that death profit, surprisingly, you see on that net worth, the highest of supports by a decent amount for a support this early in the game.
Yeah, I imagined, did he get the last hit on any of those kills? Or either way, it was probably worth a decent amount. Just
yeah, he did. He got it on the Oracle. So, ooh, misses the Tornado middle. Frank, meanwhile, well, I'm not sure this is kind of where you want if you're Thunder Predator, though. You have your Centaur and your Terrorblade both farming the same jungle right now.
Yeah, this definitely should not be happening. Either Centaur should be trying to pressure the top lane. I think he just did that thing where he was at top lane, he got a little bit low, and then he's like, I'm going to go back to base. And he just farmed some
on the way back. He's like, well, I might have helped myself.
Yeah, might as well. Don't mind me.
Yep. And look at this. First ult used. Matthew is behind him, and he is smoked up. There's going to be, do we have a finger? There it is. Gets that extra damage on it. Uh-oh, and the first ulti used by the Death Prophet won't even secure him that Tier 1 tower. So both teams able to defend their towers.
Thunder Predator this time, they kind of learned from that weird rotation, the Shadow Demon. If you bring some heroes into that safe lane, you have to bring a lot of them to really make sure you win the fight. Because there's just no bailout from that safe lane tower. It's like off on an island by its own, if you think about it, where it's on at the map and where the rest of the objectives are.
Oh, Kataro.
Is he going to be in trouble?
Yeah, it felt like he was pressuring out that he has a Sunder because he went to the lane with 200 HP. And the Spectre actually ran away. We know he doesn't have the Sunder, but if you're the other team, you're like, I don't want to get Sundered and then meted on.
Do you remember that time in Dota 1? People would go Dagon, Terrorblade. They would go into the Roshan pit, get beat on by a Roshan until they went to 20%. They would Shadow Blade away and Sunder Dagon.
God, Dota players were so bad back then. Just the general Dota player. It's crazy how far along, people didn't know last hits, and now even 2K players know the last hit is. Leo style, cold snapped up middle. He already has his Aether Lens, an Arcane Rune bottled up, but Murdoch, he's getting pretty close. A nice early-ish Spear Vessel. Looks like he'll have it around 15 minutes. Maybe a little earlier.
You know, I sometimes think about that Dota player who argued that auto attacking auto attacking lanes. Yeah, he argued that it was better than just last hitting.
Yeah.
And the weird part is that guy actually was ahead of the meta in some way.
He was.
In that, like, now we know that is like shoving lanes,
yeah.
which Blitz Dota is a big fan of, right?
Yep.
Like that's a concept of how to be able to get map control. He was onto something.
He was also the guy that was when you could buy Aegis, and he would just auto attack lanes and go Aegis Rapier on Clinks every single game. Bottom lane, Death Prophet. I'm not sure you're getting out of this one, my friend. Trying to with that Spirit Siphon. It's a lot, but here comes the poison damage. Donk, 1,200. Down comes Kataro. Sexy Fat gets slowed by that mana drain. Matthew, he wants to move over there. No stun for 2. They're just getting the tier 1. No glyph available. And it'll go down, actually. Frank gets speared into the tower, and Kataro picks it up. So a 1K lead now for the Radiant. And Spectre will just have to run away from Frank TPing in top. He has a full pipe, by the way.
Yeah, this is this lovely combination where you have a tower hitter and a tower defender. It's very clearly defined roles, right? You've got your Centaur who's going to go wherever there is going to be pressure from Furia, and Thunder Predator are able to exert their own pressure with their Terrorblade every single time Metamorphosis is up. As a result, they've kept all their tier 1s alive so far. And that is resulting in a 2,000 net worth lead for Thunder Predator. And a lot more map control, which your Terrorblade takes the best use of.
Oh, yeah. If you ever just tell a Terrorblade, hey, this side of the map, they will not be there, he's going to be pretty happy.
Yeah, heroes like these illusion-based farming carries, like Terrorblade and Naga Siren, they take in AM's another decent example of it. These heroes take an abnormal amount of the map for themselves to farm. And it basically leads into your other cores not being able to have any space, particularly if you lose your towers. So what you really want is two heroes that don't mind just hitting lanes. And Shadow Demon, he's able to do that in mid lane, spamming out the Shadow Poison, but Centaur especially. He's just able to play into lanes constantly, defend towers, show himself all the time while Terrorblade's off, secretly farming away jungle stacks.
Yep. We do see pretty much the trade as Frank got that top tier 1. Sexy Fat will get that bottom tier 1, so open up a little bit of the map.
Yeah, once you have the tower advantage like this, like sometimes you'll see these teams, like they'll take the enemy safe lane tower, but be far enough ahead they defend their own. At some point, they no longer defend that tower anymore. It becomes not worth it. Once you have the tower advantage, just keep the map control that you have on the top part of the map. It's not worth giving up control of that area. It represents too many neutral creep camps.
Middle lane, Tornado EMP. Leostel says, I'm not having any of that. Just disrupts himself. And there are a lot of heroes here. Phoenix, Death Prophet. We even saw the dagger. We have all 5 heroes from there. From behind it is going to be a perfect ultimate from the Mars. Trapping in 3. The Phoenix egg is down. I don't think they killed. They're trying to. Leostel goes down. Matthew goes down. The Phoenix goes to the backline. Frank is going to die. And what a perfect ultimate from Mars. The only one on the other side of the river from his team.
You've got 3 very squishy heroes in that back line. Getting to them is so important, and Sexy Fat, with that rotation, just made the most of it. And on top of that, they used Exorcism in that fight. They're going to be able to take that mid tower, most likely.
That's nice.
My question is, where was MJZ in this? Because he didn't seem to get off his ultimate on anybody.
Yeah, maybe just a little too far back there, and that hurts, because that's why you pick this Oracle. That's the perfect time. Hey, we save you, you get out. Maybe we can defend this tier 1 tower now, but they just lose 3, and that is, we see the replay. Look at Sexy Fat. Not only that.
He was getting the bounty rune.
Oh, he was. And it hurt him.
I don't know where he was, actually, because it looks like the fight was already over. So he must have, like, he was somewhere close by, but not close enough, it seems.
And, man.
Somebody like that Shadow Demon, too, like, even if he gets focused down during False Promise, he can still output so much damage.
Yeah. This is a risky play, but it's going to pay off, Cap.
I mean, they've used Arena, Exorcism, and Supernova, and
Spectral.
Yeah.
Oh, that was close.
All long cooldowns.
Oh.
So whenever, like, FURIA take a successful fight, but they blow too many of those cooldowns, that's something you have to be really wary of.
They're just going to run
like,
at you.
Really good teams, like I've seen Evil Geniuses do this. They'll have like 3 or 4 long cooldowns, but they'll only use like one of them to win a fight. And I think some of these teams that are less experienced, they get like really amped up about winning an engagement, right? This Mars comes in with an arena. Phoenix is like, sick, it's time for a supernova.
Yeah.
And Heiko's like, sick, they're all stuck. Let me pop
Combo.
exorcism. Yeah, and then you've blown too much.
Yep. And there is going to be a kill up here on the Phoenix. They're just going to get him. They know all those heroes are down at the tier 2, which they were allowed to glyph and the creep. So a tier 2 bottom for a tier 2 middle. Not the trade you often see.
No, and that is a trade that FURIA has to accept because, again, you would much rather take mid towers pretty much always. They represent a larger hold of the map, right? Because if you have to swing between top and bottom all the time, if you're FURIA, but you don't control any part of the mid lane, then it just means there's a lot more walking or teleporting that you're doing. Whereas Thunder Predator, they can play from the mid lane, and they can play into the Dire jungle from there and invade that area. Or they can even try and take over the Dire triangle. A lot harder area, lot harder real estate to capture.
Yeah.
But once you've taken that mid-tier 2, there's a lot less defense in that.
And when we do see the Spectres network doing a pretty damn good job, the scary part is your Spectre is having a good game, but the TB's having a 2K net worth lead better game. And as you've said, this TB does kind of just counter, not just kind of counter Spectre. He's good against the Spectre.
Yeah. I could be wrong, but I do not see FURIA winning this game at the current trajectory. Where Thunder Predator is like, they have more map control, so they're probably going to be slowly gaining more of a net worth lead. Sometimes it'll drop down because FURIA will win a big team fight, but immediately afterwards, Thunder Predator's just going to run at you.
As long as the TB has meta, right? That's like the one cooldown for Radiant that's really important. Uh-oh, there will be the stuns come out. Matthew will just throw out the stun. It's going to be a tornado EMP onto Frank. Can he get out of it? He does. Ulti was popped. Phoenix, they're looking for Matthew on the back. There's going to be a spear. They get one kill. Frank trying to run away on the backside, and looks like he'll make it. He'll actually even just push in that middle lane. So a 5-on-5 strange engagement where only one goes down. Oh, they're trying to save it. They get the outpost. A nice try by Leo Style, but that's big. 350 experience per person is nothing to sneeze at.
If he'd done it a second faster, then the Mars completely drops the channeling there. Nobody's there able to grab it in time, and they just lose the outpost. But
they get it, and it means the experience is even on both teams, and they're happy. We see the Spectre does have the Radiance. Not too bad before the 20-minute mark. Now, where you look? Oh, sorry.
I think it is one thing. It's like a little unfair to compare the Terrorblade, who has a farming mechanism in his illusions.
True.
And then now it's the Spectre with the Radiance. Now she can actually maybe keep up with the TB. We'll see. But they use the Spectre ult, right? So, of course, Thunder Predator is just going to go again. FURIA still has plenty of teamfight abilities, but it's going to take a great arena or maybe just a pickoff.
Yep, there it goes. Going for that outpost. A little bit strange to go for an outpost at a time when you don't really get anything out of it. And there goes his courier as well. So this TB getting a little bit extra gold. A double damage bottled up. It's Leo Styles. Nice teamwork there. That's kind of scary. If you have a TB with double damage, that's very well a one team fight and a Rax. But
it's a little weird to go for it, but at the same time, I don't mind it because he's a 4 position who is trying to draw people farther away from his base, right? And if you look at it on the map, they're just, like, strictly speaking, bottom lane is the best place to draw them. That is the farthest possible location from your base.
It is. No, the TB is over there. He's just going to be farmed. Pretty much it feels like this TB and Spectre want to farm, and eventually one of the captains is going to make a call. We need you at a fight.
Yeah.
And it's a lot easier for a Spectre to show up to a fight because you got the global ult. We'll see. The Shadow Demon still farmed Aether Lens as well as a Spirit Vessel now, so both teams got that reduced healing.
Maybe I'm messed up, but just for my sick enjoyment, I kind of want to see Thunder Predator lose a couple of fights and this game stretch out because I'm just morbidly curious how core Shadow Demon scales into the late game. Like, he could be sick with Aghanim Scepter and such.
Oh, well, we're going to see a Shadow Demon just instantly blow up, so hey, your wish. Their command as FURIA gets a nice one. Frank blinks in. They're going to go for Heiko now. And yeah, there's a TB with double damage. Goodbye. 4-step doesn't mean anything. Egg will finally go off. It's an ultied up Oracle on himself. Matthew goes down. This Oracle's going to go down. In comes Frank and Katara. What can they do? They're just running away. This is smart. Will they find anyone? Can they? No. FURIA with a big 3-for-1 and a buyback from Matthew on that Lion.
Yeah, he popped the Stampede and he didn't have Blink up, sadly. So, like, whether it was the Radiance burning him out or maybe he'd already used his Blink. But this, they need just that extra catch. But when their back line is just assaulted by FURIA, they don't have great ways to stop it.
Yep. They've done a really good job, as we see here, of Leo style. Well, you're kind of farming somewhere. They had a ward. They just jump, instantly take you down. And then everyone else gets cut off, right? You never want, you have 2 on the left, 2 on the right. That's just a losing fight.
And they're pacing their ultimates a lot better. But Thunder Predator, like, what I want them to do right now, just what you have to do is be really mentally resilient to those sort of fights and just be like, okay, they won that fight. And it really sucks, but think about the ultimates they used. We just go again.
And
I want them to just run at FURIA.
Oh, but a nice job, Cold Time. And once again, they pull down the line. He does have his finger. They're going to try to stun right. Will they pull him in? So much AoE damage going out right now. RDO gets the kill on Matthew. In the air goes Kataro, Leo style down. They're going to try to run away. Frank is just in the middle of no man's land. And you ran uphill, I believe, with no vision.
When I said run at them, I was speaking like metaphorically in a sense. I didn't mean like literally drop everything and run up the most dangerous high ground in the game
with no vision.
You ran up into the dire triangle through a major choke point from like one of the biggest low ground to high ground points in the game,
and you lose.
And
the fight.
Like, you also didn't have metamorphosis. Like, when I say run at you, I mean like plan a team fight, go for a smoke rotation that is based around like Terrorblade pushing out the bottom lane and 4-man smoking behind him or something like that. I want you to try and force an engagement in a smart way, not literally any engagement possible.
Yeah, and that was a rough one for him. A nice juke there from MJZ. Doesn't give away another free kill to the Invoker. But now, Murdoch, he's getting close to that BKB. And not only that, the Death Prop, by the way. Brown Boots, 4th staff going BKB next and getting kind of close to it.
Yeah, as long as you've got levels and that BKB, Death Prophet is going to be outputting a lot of damage in these fights. It's going to just draw a lot of tension, right? Both the Supernova and this Death Prophet.
Oh, and look at those items from both teams. Some pretty damn good ones. Titan Sliver and Mindbreaker for the Dire. Telescope for the Radiant.
You know, I think Mindbreaker would be a sick way for the Spectre to be able to get to the back line when she pops her ultimate and just kill, like, Oracle.
Yeah,
right? Silence him straight up and then just go for him, but I don't think she's going to have it. Yeah, she went Titan Sliver instead.
Too good of an item. No one wants to be stunned as a carry.
Yeah, no one likes that. Plus, agility heroes just naturally take better advantage of base damage increase because you have such high attack speed as well.
There's a craggy coat now and a repair kit. TB find them all. So the TB is 2 levels below the Spectre now, but 300 gold off of that Butterfly with Roche coming up in a minute. So you have the team fight on Dire, but you have the big Roche killing potential of a TB really quick. It feels like that might be where the next engagement is.
Yeah, I'm beginning to be concerned, though, that one thing I didn't think about was that Mars Arena is like really effective at slowing down damage from a hero like Terrorblade. Right, because he's a range carry, he's got these big shots, they're just blocked by the wall. So if your allies are able to play around the arena, whether Terrorblade's inside or outside, it doesn't matter. As long as your allies play around that, they can significantly slow down the damage. This is why FURIA always have to make sure, we said at the beginning of the game, like, they do have to go out and actively fight Thunder Predator. They cannot just let Thunder Predator move into towers and try and defend from there. That'll never work.
Yeah, because as you see on that, even though they won the last 2 to 3 team fights, you just look at that net worth and you're like, how is that TB still 5K, 4 to 5K ahead? That's pretty crazy, especially with the Radiance on Spectre.
If you can force fights on Thunder Predator's side of the map as well, right, where he's forced to use Metamorphosis, and even if they win the fight, they're not in a position to immediately take an objective. Yeah. And if they do, then like the damage is very limited.
Right now it looks, there's definitely grouping up from both teams. The only one not there, Spectre, but as we said, the Global, you got the ulti, you'll always beat the fight. We might be looking at a 5v5 here. Gotta be careful. Orbit Destruction for the TB with that Butterfly recently picked up so much damage, but If they bring that TB down early, right, the fight's just over. If this TB ever dies, the fight's over. We're seeing wards getting cleared up here. Leo style going to try to make some more, clear them up a little bit quicker. Sentry Observer ward goes down. This Roche, they're just standing around it, neither team inside of it.
Our Shadow Demon has not had an item progression
A long time.
in like almost 10 minutes now. He had Aether Lens Spirit Vessel pretty quickly, but FURIA have done a good job of getting to him in all of these fights. And it's beginning to look more like it's not the Spectre who's going to have to 1v5, but the Terrorblade.
Yeah. It seems like Murdoch gets pushed away from the reflection. Murdoch as well in that Invoker has the BKB enough gold for it if he wants to fly it out, and he will be. Obviously not the end-all be-all when we talk about how the TB is the one. Like, the BKB won't do the most, but as long as you don't get stunned by the line, you'll always be able to at least make it out. There's 4 steps on your team Ghost Walk. You just can't get stunned.
All right, you've got the Blink Dagger now. So you can... very dangerous. How Leo Style plays these fights is so important. If they get the initiation on the side of Thunder Predator, especially if they can find the Spectre, you get Disruption, Soul Catcher on him mixed with Purge, and Spectre is almost entirely out of the fight. She might be able to survive that burst, but she's going to take enough damage. She's not going to feel comfortable fighting into the front lines. Oh. On the opposite side of things, though, if FURIA starts the fight first and Haunt goes off, you burn that Shadow Demon's Blink Dagger. He's not able to get the positioning he wants. If you're Spectre, you either play away from that Shadow Demon or with your allies quickly focus him down. Take that out of the equation, then it's just left with the Terrorblade that you kite around with Supernova and Arena.
See, it's Thunder Predator. 3 of them bottom, the offlaners and supports. And seeing both teams are calming down a little, except for Dire. They are running into, and that would be the best case scenario if they can find Kataro, and they know which one the real one is. There's going to be the BKB popped immediately, Reflection. He's going to pop the Metamorphosis as well, throwing out damage, but it does get blocked by the wall right there. Sexfed, oh my goodness, he is taking a decent amount of damage now. The Purge is on. There's going to be the Phoenix Egg. They won't be able to bring it down because of a perfect tornado. Sexyfed should die. He does. Outpost for both. Give me that experience mid-fight. Maybe it'll help out. Phoenix going to be flying forward. There goes the kill on Matthew. Once again, no finger. Spectre ulti is melting him. It's making him run away. They're pinging Kataro, but it doesn't look like they want to commit. A crazy 1-for-1 fight, and it looks like it's over here. And honestly, that favors Radiant pretty heavily, right?
Just because Roshan is up, right?
Yeah.
They got the superior 1-to-1 trade-off, but they use Metamorphosis for it. If they can't take Roshan with this Metamorphosis, though,
then it's not as bad. It's pretty even-ish.
Then it's like, it's kind of even, you know?
And this TB's scary now, by the way.
Yeah,
he's got a crit stick. I mean, you just look at his network, you're like, hey, he's still going.
Kataro's getting to that, like, I'm going to be 6 slot and just end the game in 5 minutes.
We're
going to go from, oh, this is kind of even, barracks are up on both sides, and then Thunder Predator wins one fight, and he ends it. And if he doesn't win that one fight, FURIA will probably just get such a big net worth lead off of killing Terrorblade once or twice.
Yeah.
This Invoker's a really big problem for him. They have to carry mangoes on like supports or something just to be able to feed MNZ the mana after he gets EMP'd out. Because now there's no longer the Sunder costs mana even as you level it, right? It used to be it got free at some point at level 3. Yeah. Now it has a bare minimum of 50, so they kind of need a mango that they can feed him at any point.
And the Invoker, as you see, he's skipping talents. He skipped his little 10. Are you surprised? 30 Ghost Walk cooldown this late into the game? Is it not good?
I thought it depends on the game that you're playing.
Yeah.
For some Class X Invokers, the 30-second cooldown on Ghost Walk is really important.
If you're like moving around the map by yourself, but I guess that's not really happening this game.
Murdoch didn't have that kind of game. It was a little bit slower.
Oh boy, here we go. There's going to be 6, and he gets the spear directly on top of Line. Line will get saved from the Oracle, but in comes the Spectre, and Leo still taking so much damage, puts under himself. I don't think Matthew's going to survive here, and Kataro, he's trying to right-click, but no Metamorphosis for 10 seconds. This is looking like a lost fight from Thunder Predator. They want to chase for more. Nice double silence on both cores. Terrorblade, Shadow Demon running away. Shadow Demon will make the TP. Kataro will not. They burst him down. They get another, and there's the tip from Duster, and this is going to be the Roche as well.
Why do I always see Matthew on the front lines, but not Frank? I feel like their position should be swapped.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but like Matthew in his position, he gets very quickly surrounded. And it also catches Leo style in that arena at the same time, which is terrible. He's forced to use disruption defensively here. Like, why is Matthew at that spot?
Yeah, why not more to the right? Because you
Why
saw
not
the
more on the high
Invoker and
ground?
stuff. Yeah, you saw Invoker and other people to the left side. And yeah, him getting caught there, and then you get Leo style caught as well. It's a rough one.
Like, once you're forced to use the Oracle ultimate on Matthew, like, once I saw that, I was like, okay, the fight's over.
Yeah.
Nobody can save Leo style, who's also been caught. And on top of that, Terrorblade cannot play the same kind of aggressive style he wants to, knowing he's got that second or third extra life, depending on if he gets off a good Sunder.
And I was going to say, Murdoch's item progression just about as slow as Leo Styles, and then they win that one fight, and he just gets a 3K lead on him now. Almost a full Aghanim's picked up for that Invoker out of nowhere. And okay, middle lane. Spells will be used on the creeps, but they are smoked up. Thunder Predator, they didn't have... also, I was going to ask, were you surprised they tried to take Roche with no meta up? A little bit scary there.
Yeah, it seemed like, again, they thought to themselves, like, oh, there's some cooldowns that FURIA is missing. Like, let's just try for it. I don't know. A lot of things that Thunder Predator has been doing for the last 20 minutes has been messy and not fully thought out.
Yep. And this line, we saw that one finger kill, I believe it was around the 9 to 10 minute mark. He has not acquired another one since. Matthew scared, almost going down. He's like, is there a Spectre here? Uh-oh. But he will make it out. So FURIA. Sexy Fat continues to farm that top lane. He's got a Crimson Guard, Pipe, Blink Dagger, going for a BKB of his own. Now he is getting run down by Qatar with that Orb of Destruction, but definitely don't want to just run at them.
I don't think there's enough damage in this game for MNZ to get to where he's hoping to be. He's hoping where he's just like mows people down 3 or 4 shot, but Mars represents such a big issue. Both with the arena and the bulwark. He's able to soak up a lot of damage. There's one point. Then you've got the supernova. Okay, there's a bunch of shots, possibly all 8 of them, that you have to waste trying to kill this egg.
Yeah.
And that's another big problem. And then half the time he's thrown up in like tornadoes or getting cold snapped or something.
Yeah,
He's just not able to focus people down as much as he wants to. The disables that they have are so easily. They just lose them off of one initiation from FURIA, right? If the Lion can't get in there to be able to hex and disable people to allow TB to swing, then everyone just kites TB around and kills everyone else.
Yeah, which we've been seeing in most of these fights right now. FURIA has been looking like a little bit cleaner team the last about 15 to 20 minutes now.
But all it takes is like one fight for Thunder Predator, right?
That's the thing. You have the TB, who is 6 slot. If you do manage to get past that front line of Mars, you could just get past the whole game. It's scary. You are the TB.
So if you're FURIA, if you're Duster especially, you're telling your guys, like, we're doing a great job, but like don't get too cocky, right? Like, we still have to pay attention to our side lanes. Make sure those are pushed in. Don't ever give this Terrorblade an opportunity to take an aggressive fight. We want to be fighting on their side of the map. We're now reached that point where it's so far away. You pop Metamorphosis to defend your base, like, you can't really just march down mid and get to the tier 3 in time. You know, like, if you do, it's only going to be a few seconds of hitting.
And they will save the tier 3 tower with Glyph.
Keep them on the back foot with positioning. Play onto this high ground, play around your vision.
That's all you need to do. We'll see if they can, because Thunder Predator, they're grouping up and they're smoked. Another double damage room for the TB, and this time, he's got a little bit more save. You've got the Satanic, not just the lifesteal, but the status resistance.
Dude, I really think they should play to bottom right now. I think the sick play would be to smoke to bottom and catch the Spectre.
Oh, we're going to see. The Spectre knows where they're at. Yep, and top, Leo Styles instantly killed, as well as Kurt, and now they know where they're at. Yeah, they're trying to run away.
So my question is, what was Leo Styles doing?
I'm not sure, my friend. He was pushed out very far by himself, and now this might almost be a guaranteed Rax, it feels like. Because you actually have a building hitter with the Alacrity Spectre.
Like, the Spectre, I think part of the pops the ultimate because they caught Leo Styles.
Oh, they're going in, and Heiko goes down immediately. They still haven't even gotten that range. Barracks hit. There's going to be the egg just to try to zone him out. Looks like Frank will be the only one who's going to get stunned by it. He might not even. On the left side, it's Terrorblade. Gets 4 staffed away. BKBs and now running forward. The reflection cooldown is out. Frank gets a massive 2-man stun into the 3-man room, and now he is just shredding him. You got to watch out for Kataro. This is what we were talking about. It looks like you're tanky on Segment. Like you said, it's hard to bring him down, but when he's left alone, he'll eventually die. Maybe. Oh my goodness, he almost TP's out, but Frank's there. And he's tanky. You were correct. It takes quite a few hits for the Bulwark boy.
Yeah, just imagine he's using that Bulwark good in team fights. It's like really hard to remember this, but I think Terrorblade's the best hero to do so against. Using that to protect Spectre, Invoker, and Death Prophet, right? To redirect the shots onto your shield.
So they do get a 1-team fight, and they actually did save the ranged Rax. So no Rax is down, but I feel like more than likely, creeps are eventually just going to take that if you're not paying attention.
Yeah, and the Metamorphosis is going to wear out now. So Thunder Predator, I'm not sure how aggressively. They're probably going to poke and stuff because Mars is still dead for 35 seconds, and you've got this illusion push.
But you got to be careful.
I don't think they'll be able to get a tier 3 out of this. They might do a little bit of damage. That's it.
Well, it seems like after that fight, now FURIA might be a little more cautious, but maybe not. I think they know if all their abilities are up, they're fine. The problem was they did push into the base with some of their abilities already down, used to kill the Shadow Demon.
Yeah.
And Roche may respawn in a minute and 30. That's going to be a big one. The third one, if you're FURIA, you want to deny it. You don't really, I mean, it's, yeah, both teams have a great hero for it. I guess TB's not as great since the meta is obviously down if you use it before, but having a second life's nice.
I like this. Duster isn't going for the Aghanim Scepter. He's going to go for Lotus Orb. Lotus Orb is particularly value against this lineup. You've got single target disables like Hex, but there's the very obvious cleanse of Reflection, which is really big that Lotus Orb can give you.
Not only that, quick enough fingers, have fun trying to Sunder.
And you can dispel Soul Catcher as well.
Okay.
That's what it says. I actually didn't know that.
Interesting. That'd be pretty good. I see the Satanic. Yep, Kataro, he's still beating most of these item timings. The problem is he is the only one on his team who... Centaur is third on the net worth. Have you really felt that?
No.
That's the weird thing, right? He is actually insanely farmed for a Centaur, I just realized.
Yeah, he's done a great job. It's just your feeling of this hero in team fights is always a little weird because he's just going to get a bunch of team fight items for you, right? Like his Blink Dagger... Especially in these fights against so much AoE damage that's going around. There's tornadoes flying around. There's this Spectre Radiance that's stopping his blink most of the time. He's never going to get this like beautiful blink 3-man stun. That's kind of unrealistic.
Yeah.
So he's just been building up a bunch of teamfight items, and that hasn't really allowed them to be tanky enough most of the time to survive on these supports. A lot of times this Lion and Oracle and even Leo style are just falling over.
They just get destroyed before anyone can do anything.
Leo Style's in a better position, though. He's got this defensive Yule Scepter, and he's going to start building towards the Aghanim Scepter after that. The Aghanim Scepter, like the late game impact of Shadow Demon is really high as a support. As a core, I think it's still going to be pretty good.
The break's always good with the Ags, obviously.
Yeah, you get the Ags, and then on top of that, you get the charges, and you get the level 25 talent. If you get that far into the game, then all of a sudden the Shadow Demon just bops.
He bops. Yes,
He's
indeed.
bopping all over the place.
He is, as we do wait for the Mars to come back. Anything else happening? The Lion did get a second finger kill. Going for the Aghanims next, it looks like. Forced to have Glimmer Cape, so was forced to go for the defense. I feel bad. As a Lion, you definitely don't want to go with these items, but you have to see what the game is, right? A Lion as a 4, you're like, I want to get in there. I want to blast. But the team items.
This is pretty much the build of every support against the Spectre lineup, right?
Have to have a Glimmer.
The enemy carry can get right on top of me. You don't go Blink Dagger. You go Force Staff and Glimmer. He's not, most of the time, he's not going to carry Dust.
Especially now, later into the game, right? Earlier, you're like, yeah, the Spectre's going to have Dust, but actually, the more items Spectre gets, honestly, the safer a support with a Glimmer Cape feels. He's like, can't find me, all right.
And then super part late into the game, we're kind of at that point because we have Abyssal Blade on RDO. Becomes about who clicks their abilities fast enough. Because Spectre's going to be looking to instantly execute Oracle. That I think would be the best game plan. Unless Oracle's far enough away, in which case you can go for Shadow Demon or Lion. Just rely that False Promise isn't going to be there. But if he Abyssal Blades him before he gets off the Glimmer Cape, then MJZ is just dead.
We are going to see another smoke. FURIA definitely have had the way better smokes this game. Almost all of them been successful. Looks like they just want to take this before 40 minutes. Should be pretty obvious they're smoked up after that. And they're like, wait, no one was there. How the hell did they take it? But they're sitting up on the high ground. They don't kill they sentry for sentry. They don't kill it. And they take the bait. They place the ward up there, and they're like, wait, they saw our sentry and didn't kill it. They're trying to bait us. So both teams kind of know what's going on here. And there's going to be a Spectre ulti. Who are they going to go on the backside? It's going to be Sexy Bet. They find one, instantly kill Matthew. Duster is in, hasn't even had to pop the egg. And when you're an Oracle ulting yourself, it does not feel too good. Qatar on the backside. He has the BKB. He's forced to pop it. He's TPing. Will he even make it? No! He's dead. Oh, dear. 0.1 second left on that TP. No buyback. Even if you did have buyback, you don't have your BKB. That's a bad fight for Thunder Predator.
Dude, how does Sexy Fat keep on getting 2 of the squishy heroes in arena every fight?
It's a good question.
Like, he got both the supports there. They instantly kill Matthew, and they forced MJZ to pop False Promise on himself. Like, that's it. The fight's over.
Yeah, it's like the Oracle isn't even ulting, right? If you're forced to ulti yourself during a Spectre ulti, it's pretty much your hero's kind of useless at that point. And they will just take the ranged barracks, which had no HP, going after the melee one now. Kataro dead for 30 seconds. This isn't even one of those games like maybe they can hold a 4v5. Kataro is your 4. He is 4 heroes in 1 pretty much, and with him out, they aren't able to defend that Rax, and FURIA is just going to back up. They're playing so much cleaner than yesterday, it feels like.
Oh, yeah. They looked really bad yesterday.
They did.
They were clearly the 4th best team in this 4-man group. But now, this is a different FURIA that's coming to the table.
And Frank, ooh, one of the first missed spears we've seen from Sexy Fat. Frank is pretty damn tanky. He has his ulti as well. They want to make him use it, but he won't. There's going to be a Hex on the mark, so he can't do it again. Force Staff pops his BKB. Kataro is alive, but no towers to TP to, so he can't get there that quickly. And they're just going to back out. Both these offlaners so tanky and hard to kill for both teams. Haste rune.
Just kind of weird being that far out there, and like they're focusing a lot of attention. I'm like, okay, that's good, but where's your Terrorblade?
Yeah.
Like, it is kind of ideal if FURIA goes on the Centaur, right? That is the best case scenario for them. But they're so grouped up. Holy crap.
That's going to be a big silence coming out. It's going to be chained together. RDO's going on the backside. There's going to be the Abyssal Blade. Will they just kill the Oracle before anything happens? They sure will. And there's going to be the Arena Blood. Goodbye, Matthew. Frank is getting melted down. And yep, did you hear a squeak? I believe you did. A massacre again. And these AoE abilities, they just ran uphill and got 3-man silenced by a DP.
That was basically just as egregious as their last time.
The one bottom,
They ran out and bottom. Like, why aren't you guys in this, like, small little cluster?
Oh, no. Leo style, 0.5 seconds from TPing, and he gets found trying to push lane. He does push the lane in. That range creep is going to live. So he doesn't even manage to finish killing the creep wave off. This is looking all things up for FURIA right now. And while Kataro pulling an Arteezy here, farming up the jungle.
Well, in all the chaos, MNZ did not pop his Metamorphosis, so they have one last hold. And their high ground defense is very strong, especially the Spectre ultimate being on cooldown. You've got this Shadow Demon who can now finally play the back lines, hopefully without getting punished by this Mars.
We'll see when MNZ wants to come back. He's still in that bottom lane. They're going to initiate. There's another one. Oh, no. He will get saved this time, Leo style. I'm not sure how long he'll get saved for as he slowly gets melted down by the sun ray, but it's tough.
Oh,
and he dies.
Got the healing salve
dies.
Too. He knew it was going to be close, and it still wasn't enough.
Ouch. So you lose a full another set of racks. Bottom lane, you might get a tier 3. Nope, the illusion ends up going down.
I always like it when teams play super slow in game 1 because when you're in a winning position like this, you get to savor the victory a bit more.
Oh, yeah. And
cause a little bit of mental damage. You know, just back up, take... you could just go for the 5 versus 4 into Megas, right? You could try that. See if you, because you know he doesn't have buyback. Instead, just back up. Take Roshan, Aegis, Cheese, Refresher Shard. There's no rush.
Sure, we'll take it all. Actually, RDO pretty much says that. Cheese won't go to him, goes to Sexy Vet, who obviously much better on that 2,500 health. And the Death Prophet, he has had his A on disc for so long, and he hasn't even unlocked it yet. He's just like, I'm waiting.
Yeah, somebody go on me.
Please, why'd I buy this item? This
It's like
game
he's
feels
imagining a team fight where like they do get an initiation with Lion, and he has to protect himself and stuff. Instead, every single team fight is Thunder Predator, just kind of like stumbling in with their back line at their front line. And vice versa.
That's definitely felt like the problem. We have not seen just Matthew with a big impact with stuns or fingers. You got a lot of burst, but now that you're in the late game, this finger doesn't feel that strong with only 2 charges of the extra damage. And we do see the Lotus Orb picked up by Phoenix now as well. So Duster, some of the most farm he's gone. Middle lane, Sexy Vat initiates again. Goodbye, Oracle. Goodbye, Matthew. And possibly goodbye to everyone else. Look at even the Terrorblades turning around. Pops BKB, Pops the Reflection still has meta as well as Sunder. Cap, I know he's saving it for one last good fight, but when is that one last good fight? Your base is dying.
I
Maybe
think
not.
that
Creeps
good
are gone.
fight could be coming up in game 2. Maybe they plan to redraft Terrorblade.
Oh, and here's going to send our ulti. Egg's just going to pop down so they can't get him. He actually spears Frank back into it. Will he make it out of the AoE range? He actually walks back into it. Heiko ends up going down, but the Centaur going to be the next one to fall, it seems. Gets the stun, actually gets saved by the Oracle now. And then Z slowly melt down. He has the Satanic. Will pop it. Murdoch pops the cheese. No, he didn't pop the cheese. Just heals up. Oh, finger. There we
got a third
go.
finger kill.
Did Duster have the... He didn't have the Lotus Orb up. All right. Oh, he did pop the cheese. He popped the cheese from the second Roche. My bad. So they did have 2 to spare. Sexy Bat with the other one. And... Oh, what?
They got to hold.
Yeah. Also, the Mars. Have you been seeing that level 25 Talon? He took the 100 HP regen.
I
A little bit more, or not really?
I've done that like twice.
Okay.
In my entire life, and it's pretty much when I feel like the that my damage doesn't matter so much. It's all about just protecting one hero. I'm not sure if I agree with it this game, but he's not wrong in that just prolonging the Spectre's life is the way to win their game.
And it is what, just 700 HP, 100 HP, 7 seconds.
Yeah. 700 extra HP for heroes like Spectre and Death Prophet who do more damage the longer they live.
Bottom. They're pushing in finally. Flicker found Yippee for the Spectre.
They're going to have Shivas very soon for Murdoch. All these Aeon discs were playing hell for MNC, but hey, time to go all in, right? You've got level 25 coming in very soon for your Terrorblade. Divine Rapier in his inventory, ready to go.
Is he going to get 25? Doesn't look like it.
I think he hopes he will.
He's trying, but he's like, wait, uh-oh. There's an Alacrity Spectre hitting my base. I might need to do something here. We'll just purge off the Alacrity. Be a Hex. There's going to be Matthew does make it out this time. Quick fingers. Saves him 1. Will they get the last tier 3, though?
All right, they got Spectre Illusions coming out.
They do. There's going to be that, but a nice silence. So Centaur, he does have the Lotus Orb. He doesn't want to pop it quite yet. Reflection goes out, and they just scare him back. Nothing yet. There's the false promise invisibility. Could be good.
I think they could have popped Stampede to like try and chain the stun onto RDO. Like he could have popped BKB and such, but they have to get like a low committal kill on Spectre. Take down that Aegis, and then they can really jump in and throw all their abilities. But
oh man, stuns a fly, and RDO, he does eat a lot of damage, obviously from that Soul Catcher. MNZ continuing with those illusions. You got your own illusions, you got the Shadow Demon illusions. You're just pushing the base out with them. That's about all you can do here. Just one full set of racks is all that remains, it feels like, for Fury to end this game. And they just continue. Spectre comes in. There's going to be another stomp. They won't even let him in. There's going to be a spear, and they find him again. The Oracle gets handled in the backlines, but a save from his mid laner. MNZ now they get the Centaur, and he's just right-climbing. Heiko, though, with the Aeon Disc, will get a proc, and MNZ's like, I can't kill anyone. Why does everyone have an Aeon Disc? Pops the reflection. Frank, he has 4.1k HP, but he's not going to have any very soon. MNZ now unloading.
Look at that
They
bulwark.
might get the kill at least on the Invoker. They don't because the Bulwark, he's blocking everything. MNZ's like, just please get away. They actually don't do any damage. They finally get Murdoch. They need it down. Can they go to the backside? Frank somehow healed enough up where he's able to go, and there's going to be an aggressive Leo-style blink into a Yules. This is a tough kill, but hey, he's facing the wrong way. Not this time, my friend. Well, still tanking, but goes down, and all of a sudden...
Catch more, catch more. They need more kills.
Oh, Heiko pops the BKB. No, unable to stop that, but hey. You won a team fight. What did it cost? Mostly everything, but you are alive.
You are alive. You've got level 25 in the Terrorblade. He's going to go Aghanim Scepter over Moonshard next.
Okay.
So he can scare back the Spectre. Like, maybe that'll actually help him protect his allies more. Because once again, they caught MJZ, and he was forced to false promise himself.
How long is the fear? Fear duration 3.75. Okay.
Yeah, I was going to say 3-something.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty long, and here we see the fight right there. Frank, we saw it every time. Alacrity, he would blink in. Very good job by Leo-style saving his teammate right there. And then it was just a gigantic fight, and the best part was when the Bulwark, right? Not even aiming him, but doesn't matter. You're forced to aim that Bulwark. Look, he's just standing in front of him, walking at him.
Yeah, Murdoch gets a little bit low, 1 or 2 shots. Like, look at how like half of those shots. It's
Boom.
a 70% chance to be able to redirect onto the shield. Murdoch was saved.
What a beast.
He goes back in, but this is where Matthew finally has a good moment for himself. Snatches him off the side with a finger.
That gem, I saw it in the replay. It did go down, so it looks like Radiant will pick that up as well. Yeah, you see him. They just run him down right there. Even then, he was still just so tanky. This Mars, you really do have to get him from behind. So what do you do if you're Fear? Now, you're still obviously up, surprisingly only by 2k gold, but you know there's no Metamorphosis right now. Well, there's going to be in 9 seconds. Is FURIA just going to be really scared now because of that fight loss? Like, it felt like they didn't know how to kill that Rax.
Well, fights are easier when it's outside of the enemy base, and the next fight should be.
Okay.
Right? It's going to be around the Roshan pit. That will allow Spectre's initiation with Haunt to be a lot more effective. Especially since you still have Refresher Shard. What Thunder Predator should be looking to do is build into some buybacks. Who can get it on their team?
Oh boy.
They need Shadow Demon to build up enough gold for a buyback.
Oh my goodness, Frank, be careful. There's a Sentry Ward there. There's going to be a Spectre throwing the ulti out. They're going to just go straight into the base. Maybe not back out. They do have the Abyssal. Frank, he is the tank, though. Just BKBs and runs away. And that's going to be Ghost Pop from the Death Prophet. They're going to chase into it. I thought they might wait, but maybe they're just like, let's go. They get 2-man silence. There's going to be a tornado. It does miss everyone. Who's he get a spear? No one quite yet. It hasn't gone up. Now they're going to the backside. They want to just scare away that Oracle. There's going to be a nice spear onto the line. Who did get saved? MNZ is just chunking, but no, it's Sexy Fat just standing in his way. He can't do anything. Where's your Manta? He hasn't popped it. There it is.
It's too late.
And
surrounded by too many heroes.
He goes down. No buybacks from both the supports. There is a buyback from TB, but like we said with the Aegis, you don't have meta once you buy back or you Aegis back up.
Yeah, and you don't get your Divine Rapier back
either.
You
definitely don't. You get your treads, but you probably want something that does 330 damage.
And now Duster, all of a sudden his net worth is skyrocketed upwards as he's got the damage with the Divine.
And they're looking to end this Thunder Predator. They won't give it up without one last fight, though, as Murdoch is just zoning 2 people out. RDO jumps in beyond godlike 15, 1, and 16. MNZ locked into the Ice Wall, one of the best late game spells. There's going to be the Sunder. But Heiko pops the Aeon Disc once more, and yeah, as you said, good item choices with these 2 Aeon Discs. MNZ just has to focus different people. They jump through again. RDO is Spirit Vessel, not broken quite yet though, and he just bashes up Frank. Frank trying to tank it, has the BKB, maybe forced to run away. Now he's just stuck in the Ice Wall with no BKB. Yeah, you're dead, my friend. Ice Wall late game. There is a save. Possibly not.
They only need a few more seconds until another metamorphosis, maybe.
Is he alive? No, he had the the spirit vessel on him at the end of it. So, as you said, well done there. Still in the game though, Thunder Predator. They've got the TB and won't give up. Sexy Pat says, "All right, we got a game plan this one. We got the last racks. Now, how do we end this game?" TB does have his meta up again in 10 seconds, but no Divine Rapier.
Dude, if I'm FURIA, I'm taking this pause. And Mars Lag House gameplays. Well, Sexy Fat has done a really good job of finding arenas and hitting spears if he's lagging this much. This is he's done a great job. Like,
absolutely.
I could not ask more from him. And what I love about the item build, too, is he went for Shadow Blink because he knew how important his initiation is. Like, they have to get to this backline. The Spectre's life is somewhat threatened if they actually manage to get Disruption and Soul Catcher. Yep. Like, he can turn off his Radiance and stuff and, like, prevent that from being given away. But the combination of his own illusions hitting him, Soul Catcher being placed on him, and then a Reflection on top of all that, like, there's just a lot of versions of you that all hit pretty hard.
Yeah.
So get to that back line, kill the Oracle, kill the Shadow Demon, the fight's won.
Yep. I've got a question. I did not notice myself. You guys won't see it on your screen, but I'm looking at mine, and it's the tip on my screen. During Oracle's false prompts, the overhead orb will be red if the target has taken lethal damage and is predicted to die when the effect expires. I've never seen that orb. Am I crazy?
They did a very poor job.
Okay.
With,
I didn't even know it existed.
And, like, that orb. It's been bugged.
I didn't know you could learn.
It's been bugged. Like, when it was first in, I remember it was, like, really bugged where the initial damage that was dealt would be what color the orb was, no matter what, even if more healing came in.
And now it's just who knows?
Now it's a little bit more obvious. It is more obvious. If you're going to get healed, the orb is pretty clear on that.
Okay.
Whether or not you're actually going to take a lot of damage or just about, you know, you take 2 damage or a lot of damage, the orb pretty much looks the same from what I can tell.
Middle lane now, getting pushed in by FURIA. Roshan will respawn in 10 seconds. Mega Creep's already achieved for the Dire side, though. We'll see if they just want to end it or if they do want to play it cool. Looks like they don't. Leo style. There's the Abyssal Blade immediately into the Cataclysm. He does get the Yules off. Will survive for 1 more second. Not this time. Isn't even able to get his ulti off. Does buy back, though. Centaur dead. 1 minute.
Second Divine Rapier for Kotaro Hayama. 1 last hold.
Another 1 last hold. He defended 1 time. Can they do it again with no Frank, though?
I mean, if he could get to the back line and they kill the Phoenix. If Matthew finds him, they kill the Phoenix. They get the double Divine Rapier. Oh, they got the Hex. But where's MNZ?
He wants to find someone else, I'm not sure.
He's walking all the way around. He's going a little bit of walkabout. He's not even coming to the fight.
Your base is dying. MNZ, your base.
Kotaro, the bounty route's not worth it.
What's happening? He's tipping Lil still. I don't even know what's happening. They're trying to chase him down. Duster has found Matthew. Heiko is here. Matthew is just standing there. He's dead. And I think the game, yeah, it's a GG. I don't know what. Huh. I don't know.